Does this look good? Do you like this, Calvin?
It looks like Connect 4, I don't know.
It looks like Connect 4. So now, let's actually go ahead and 3D print it. What do you do when you have a whole bunch of R33 clear lenses, an R33 and extra set of taillights? Let's make some R33 Nismo LM taillights. First things first, you're gonna wanna take these taillight lenses apart. I've already taken the turn signals off, but I wanna remove the orange, the tint, as well as the lenses. So oven to 180, and we're gonna go ahead and throw these in for about 20 to 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, we like Skyline parts, so we're gonna make sure they don't break. That is how you take apart two R33 tail lights. So the first thing we're gonna do is do the research part of the video, which is figuring out what exactly we're trying to make. In this case, it's not that hard because they only ever made, I think, one set of these tail lights. They are, you can see here, they're basically clear lens R33 lights with essentially what I would assume the interns got to the car, and they threw what are these red and orange truck lights into them, or trailer lights is what it looks like. And then they put the reverse down here. So what we're gonna do is something a little different. Because we are not gonna be able to do the bumper, we're actually just gonna make this reverse, leave this right side unused, and then we're gonna turn the turn signal to this and the brakes to this. So we're gonna take a couple of other reference pictures to see what we're doing. It's really hard to get good photos of this just because this car is literally a one-off. Okay, whatever, it does not matter. So let's go ahead, we have our lens, so we can actually just directly measure it. This is our left side, this is our right side. So here's gonna be the red lens, the right lens. What we're gonna do is we're going to make basically a taillight panel to hold the LEDs on both the left and right side. It's hard to tell, but you can kind of tell in photos that the red is a little rectangular and then the orange is a little square. We're gonna take a little bit of creative liberty and make life easier and make them the same size, simply because when you look at the taillight, this is pretty much the exact same size circle left and right. So we're gonna just make them as big as we can while still being able to fit them in here. So what I'm gonna do is I have AutoCAD pulled up here, and I'm gonna go ahead and take my calipers and measure approximately how big I can make these circles. 95, 95, maybe do 93, play it safe. So I'm doing 93, about 93, to kind of play it safe and make sure it fits. Let's try 82. We've already made two assumptions. We're gonna make the left and the right side the same size, and now we're gonna do an 82 millimeters square, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. And we're making the LED board ourselves. So this is gonna be, what, 82 millimeters? And now we're gonna fill this with LEDs because essentially we're replicating a trailer light here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a circle on the corner, size this correctly. Okay. And then I'm gonna do a grid array. And then size this and space this kind of how I like it. See what I like. Does this look good? Does this look good? Do you like this, Calvin?
It looks like Connect 4, I don't know.
It looks like Connect 4. So now we're just gonna center everything, but this is in general pretty good. But let's see, let's actually make it 11. Let's see. So there we go. Now that's, in my opinion, a little less cluttered. And that's good. So that is essentially going to be our LED panel. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. R33 GT-R LM. Cool. So that's it. That's literally all we had to do. Now we're going to take this 82 millimeter square and we're going to make essentially an enclosure for it. Is the best way to describe it. So I'm going to use SolidWorks now. SolidWorks, Fusion, blah, 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 blah. Use whatever preferred software you want. But essentially, I want to make this rectangular box that will accept our lens on top, and then it'll accept the LED panel on bottom. I'm going to actually make this quite simple. I'm going to take a top plane. I'm going to draw. And now I'm going to make this about 85 millimeters because I want the wall. I want there to be some wall thickness. So we now have an 85 millimeter square. I'm going to extrude this. So the lens is going to be 1/8 inch. So it's about 3 millimeters. And then the LED panel is also going to be about 3 millimeters, but the LEDs are 5 millimeters. So let's go ahead and make this, let's say 10 millimeters deep. Just like that. Cool. And now I'm going to accept the panel on top. And again. This time 82. 82. Okay. What? Oh. 82. Cool. And this is essentially the lip that's going to accept my taillight lens. And I'm going to now cut this down. Okay. And this is going to go down 1/8 of an inch, so 3.175 millimeters. And that's essentially where my lens is going to be, my lens is going to go into. Cool. And then now I'm going to take a measurement here to measure out what my rectangle length is for the inside. So this is about 76, so let's round up to 77. So we're going to go ahead and do this again. So and then extrude the cut. This is going to go all the way through. Just like that. And now I'm essentially going to do the exact same thing on the other side. I could mirror it and make my life easier, but this is so simple that I'm just going to do the exact same thing again. So on this plane, two. The same thing, 3.75. 3.175. And just like that, the panel is pretty much done. So the only thing I want to double check is I want to make sure the distance from here to here is less than 5 millimeters, because otherwise my LEDs are going to hit the lens. So let's go ahead and check. So from this edge, or no. No, that's not what I wanted. So it's about 6.825. 10 millimeters deep is pretty good. And this is actually a pretty thin piece. I'm trying to decide if I want to perhaps. No, I think compact is better. So this is it. That's pretty much it. It's a very simple piece. Now we're gonna go ahead and save as STL, STL, STL. There we go. Cool. Very, very simple, very easy. So now, let's actually go ahead and 3D print it.
Do you want those custom mods? We do it for anything you try. You want your ride to turn heads? This is where it comes alive. If you can imagine it, we can create it. Nothing is impossible with illumaesthetic.